Oh, pardon me, I didn't see you there. But I am happy you're here. I've been looking forward to telling you a story of the life and suffering of Sir Brante. I'd like to start at the very, very beginning of the story with the birth of our protagonist and follow him throughout his childhood years. Because after all, even a decision made in one's childhood can affect the entire course of a life. So settle in, get comfortable, and I hope you enjoy your stay today. Alright, so here we are with the life and suffering of Sir Brante in times of the fall of the blessed Arcanian Empire. So this is a pretty cool visual novel / choose your own adventure type game that I saw on GOG yesterday, actually, that I thought looked really neat and I really wanted to check it out. So here we go. New game, Sir Thrennody Brante. Chapter restarts enabled, consequences open. You will see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. No, I think we should hide them. Yeah, I like this better. I think we should hide the consequences of our actions. All right. You will hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you. All right, I'm excited. I think this art...
The story of my life remains written on these pages. But my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
Anyway, I was just going to say that I think the art style of this game looks really cool. So that was part of what immediately drew me to this game. So I'm covering up what looks like a little tree icon and two people talking. So those are the two icons I'm covering up with my face cam. All right, chapter 1. At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is not but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city back streets, fields of battle and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here to the end of your time, and every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and joy inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate, or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? Ah, here's our first choice. The man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around us. A higher power. There is no destiny. Let's say we created our own destiny. Ooh. You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. That's right. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Thrennody Brante will live once more. Maybe I could have named us something a little bit different. That's okay, it's too late now. Alright, we are in our childhood. Let's see. Chapter 1, Childhood. Look at this, I love this. This is a great illustration. What do we do? Okay. Chapter 1, Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? I don't know yet. It's so exciting. Prologue. In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of the prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Thrennody Brante grow up to be? It's your call. I feel so much power. All right. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. The fencing lesson, beyond insight, nobleman's sacrament. Okay, interesting. So let's click on some of these things and see what they do. Destiny. Oh. So this is probably going to show us our options, or what we chose. Personality. We're 0 years, and we were born into a low-board estate. Our occupation is growing up. That seems reasonable. Perception 0, determination 0, willpower 0. That also makes sense since we're 0 years old. We haven't had very much time to, adapt or grow up to those things. House of Brante. Reputation 3, tarnished honor. Ooh. Wealth 5, moderate means. All right, so we're low-born, but we're not destitute. Unity 7, we're at peace. The heir is Stefan Brante right now. Oh. He's indifferent to us. Robert Brante's son from his first marriage and a noble by birth. From a young age, he has been striving to be first in all things and demonstrate his superiority to the family. All right, so I'm clicking on the tree icon that I'm hiding. It's family. Gregor Brante is our grandfather. Oh, he's at -1. He really doesn't care about us. The head of the Brante family and a nobleman of the mantle, a senior judge at the Enazot Prefecture. He was the first person in the family to get an education and achieve a noble title. His dream is to see his family ennobled by the sword. A cruel and fierce defender of the ancient order, he is constantly preoccupied with arranging the future of his family line. Okay, so there's our father, and there's an ex-wife who looks dead, and Lydia is our mom. Okay, so let's take a look at Dad. Oh, so he likes us. He's sympathetic towards us. That's good. I would hope for, a higher plus number from our father, but, I'll take what I can get. A nobleman of the mantle and a judge at the Anazote prefecture. Following in the footsteps of his father Gregor, he earned a noble title and a position at the prefecture. He works tirelessly in his judicial service for the sake of his family. He took your low-born mother Lydia as his second wife, thereby jeopardizing the family's noble future. Okay, so he probably married her for love, so I'm feeling warmly towards him. Amelia was a noblewoman of the sword. Status true death. Your father's wife passed away soon after giving birth to Stefan, never to be reborn. Can you be reborn? Is that a thing? Stefan's birth mother. Oh, sorry, my nose itches. Oh, I have allergies. It's so bad. She died while giving birth to him. She was a noblewoman of the sword and the sister of Augustin L. Bourne, a powerful family friend. The match between her and your father was your grandfather's doing. Of course it was. Amalia is said to have been a striking woman with a forceful personality who was proud of her noble origins. And our mom! +2 from mom, too. Come on. We don't get more pluses from mom and dad. A humble commoner from the outskirts of Anazote. Neither her lowly origins nor the fact that your grandfather directly forbade the marriage stopped your father from taking her into his home. She now manages the household and raises Robert's children. Your mother is devoted to her faith and insists that her children observe their lots. I don't know what that means, but I'll go with it for now. Oh, okay, so we already read about Stefan. And how about Gloria, our sister? She also doesn't really care about us. The illegitimate daughter of your mother Lydia. She has never met her real father. Her position in the family is precarious. Robert Brante has never acknowledged her as his own daughter. Your sister is a dreamer. She often has her head in the clouds and can act recklessly at times. Oh, we're gonna have to watch out for her. Whew. Okay, so we have the icon that I'm covering up with the two people talking to each other says it will unlock in chapter 2. And now we have this that will unlock in chapter 2, will unlock in chapter 2, will unlock in chapter 4, and will unlock in chapter 5. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. So let's just go forward. Your personal qualities at this age, they determine what choices you may take. We already saw that. We're spineless, inattentive, and untouched by death, but we're ready for action. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths you have experienced. These qualities will stay with you forever. Lesser deaths. Okay, I'm really interested. These sections that open in this chapter. I already looked at all this. I kind of jumped the gun here. All right, let's begin the chapter. At first there was nothing, no time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands toward you. There are two of them, the ones that made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering, distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Oh, here's our first real option. Okay, you grasp the first of the figures by the finger. You place a tiny hand on the second figure's closed fist, or you smile at the shadow. Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna have a hard time with these decisions. Maybe I should have left the consequences on. Oh, this is cool. Okay, well, you know what? Let's reach out to the palm. Your little palm awkwardly clasps the soft finger. You explore your mother's hands by touch. She smiles gently as her arms wrap around you and lift you up. She smells of home, that indescribable smell, that feeling of safety that is second to none. We're a mama's boy. Her embrace is the warmest place in all the world, a place you want to stay for all eternity. Our perception has gone up by 1. We're still inattentive, but we're getting better. Birth. The year 1118. Your life in this world begins. All right, now we're in 1119. We're 1 year old. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Oh. Hello there, little Thrennody Brante. I'm going to have a hard time taking this seriously with that name. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are 2 more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh, look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge, because you were born a commoner. That's what I have to say to you, Stefan. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Thrennody. Let's go play in the yard. I like Gloria better. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit in the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. I'm 1 year old. I cannot play hide and seek with you, Stefan. He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play? This is why I like Gloria better. Then you hide him, and I'll try to find both of you. This is a horrible plan. You have no idea what they are talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other, then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. She just left us! We're a baby! We're 1 year old! There's bugs! You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? Okay, well, we're not going to cry. We are going to be in control of our own destiny. If we get up to find our way home, we are going to immediately become lost. And if we sit here and wait, I really don't want to play with the bugs, so find our way home it is. We can do this. We're 1 year old. We're an independent young child. You get up on your feet, swaying a little bit. Carefully, you take a first step, then lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you are determined. You get up again and keep walking in the direction Gloria went. That is not towards the house, I'm sure. You walk out of the bushes and further toward the wall of the house, and then the most tender and gentle hands in the whole world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. Gloria and Stefan are going to be in such trouble. Oh my god. There you are. You lean on Mother's chest and hold on to her with your arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself without any help. She pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. Our determination went up by 1. That's right. That's because we got home all by ourselves. You're 1120. We're 2. Ah, the Great Descent. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the great descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them, 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day that you pass on. Know your lot and know your prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Thrennody? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar any time from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are low-born. Mom is a commoner, too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in, transfixes you. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? I don't really like this caste system that they've got going on here, so I'm gonna rebel. How about that, twins? Know your lot and know the prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. Well, that was a little aggressive. Oh, okay. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes. Thrennody, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. All right. Well, our determination went up. That was bold. That was aggressive. I like it. 1121. Year 1121, spring, the origin. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service. But your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of the holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be. A boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword, but first you need to grow up. A reasonable first step. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. Oh, we're in trouble! The lot of suffering. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. That's right, we did! You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Thrennody? Dude, he threw a sword at me! You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and you can feel her concern for you, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot, and the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. This is a bunch of bullshit, that's what I say. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. Well, I refuse to accept my punishment. You know what? We may have hit him, but he hit us first, and this is bullshit, and I refuse to be punished. Not, I'm like 3, and I can't, technically avoid punishment, but this is still bullshit. You break out of Mother's arms and start screaming. You're innocent, you cry, and if he hits you, you'll hit him back. All fear and shame are gone. You stand up straight and stare defiantly into Mother's eyes. Her expression grows bitter. She catches you by the collar of your shirt and drags you down the stairs. I'm doing this for your own good. Do not defy me, Thrennody. You're born a commoner, my son. Power and will is not your lot. This is Stefan's lot. He'll become a noble soon. Life for you and me is humility and suffering. You have to accept it. Oh, jeez. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. This is child abuse. You clench your teeth and hold back the tears. This is the only way you can prove that you are your brother's equal. It is the only way you can prove that one day you will have the right to rule and fight. Nice. Determination +1. That's right. Mother stays mostly in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day, she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey, Thrennody, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. Oh, see, I hate this even more now. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. That's cute, Gloria. That's good. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Oh, Gloria, you're gonna get in trouble. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. Lydia, this is a bunch of bullshit. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. I'm still your little brother, Gloria. I'll always be your little brother. And I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Oh. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Oh, brutal. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Oh my God! You are a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. Oh, I wish we could. Oh, we need better perception to write rhymes with her. Oh. Well, I'm definitely not going to complain about her. I don't think so. We're going to comfort her. Mother is wrong. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. That is heartbreaking. To destroy someone's creative works is just unbelievably cruel. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me? Really? No. You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Thrennody, you're the best little brother in the world. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. Yes! Look at that! Nice. So we've gone up one with Gloria, and Gloria remembers what we did for her. All right. Oh, that took a lot of willpower. Oh, that was a difficult choice. We're exhausted. Oh dear, we're at -5? Oh man. $11.22. Now we're 4. Oh, I forgot we were only 3. Man, we were quite a little badass for 3 years old, huh? Winter, the coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. I sense bullshit coming on. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. See? I knew there was bullshit coming. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? Oh yeah, it sure will. On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. I think I know which one of them should have gotten the lash. That's all I'm saying. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Oh, Stefan likes us less now. Oh, unity's gone down. Is this our house, our household? Yes, represents how close and trusting your family is. Affects the fate of your family members. There are disagreements now. Your siblings, Stefan and Gloria, took the first sacrament at the temple. All right. My nose itches. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. This is the newborn's cry. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no. The two of you will play together and tease Stefan together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance. She forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting, but instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Thrennody. You're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Uh-oh. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. Oh, shit, that's not good. She looks so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You're scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. I think if we call Dad, it's going to end up being too late, so let's try and redirect her anger. Oh, we needed some willpower. Oh, we're not good enough friends with Mom to hug her. All right. Mother keeps shaking Nathan violently, and you cannot stay away any longer. He is no longer bawling. He is shrieking. Just leave me alone. But then out comes your voice, so loud it drowns out their cries. No, it's not Nathan's fault, Mother. You're just tired. Please don't do anything to my little brother. If you have to punish somebody, punish me instead. He's too young. He won't understand. Your mother freezes and looks at you, her eyes two narrow slits. Her stare is cold and full of pure wrath, so pure you cannot help but recoil in fear. Geez, she needs some help, like, now. Are you trying to teach me how to take care of my child? Are you giving me lessons on calming a newborn baby? You're insolent, insipid, nagging know-it-all. It's time you learned your place. She puts Nathan on the bedsheets, then moves toward you. You step back, but a closed door blocks your way. She slaps you across the face. Your ears ring from the heavy blow, and your cheek burn from her wrath. You wince and close your eyes, expecting a second slap, but nothing comes. Nothing but Mother's heavy breath and Nathan's shrill cries. Then there is a knock at the door. You step aside. Father walks in. He looks at you clutching a reddened cheek, at the bawling baby, at Mother, her eyes red with rage and tears, her breath heavy and ragged. Go to your room, son. I'll join you soon. You do as you're told. Back in your room, you press your aching cheek against the cold window, hurt and dazed by what just happened. Soon enough, Nathan stops crying. You hear Father's heavy footsteps in the hallway. He comes to your room and sits on the bed next to you. Son, please do not be angry with your mother. The twins know she wishes nobody any harm. This is a difficult time for her, but we will make it through as a family. You stepped up to protect your brother. You acted like a little nobleman today. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Nathan are resting now. How bad does it hurt? Good, we got some determination. You shake your head, not bad, but your hand still aches to clutch the cheek. Father embraces you with a sorrowful smile and gingerly pats you on the head as you press your forehead into his housecoat. Things grow calm now. The trouble is past, and you are quietly happy. Your younger brother Nathan is born. So do we have a new addition to the family tree now? Okay, so we're 5. Hang on, I want to look at the tree. Uh-oh. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Father's sword. Ooh. Conditions met. Determination. Oh, I can't look at the tree. Alright, now I'm gonna look at the tree real fast. There he is! Nathan! The youngest child in the family and your only full sibling. An odd child, he's been secretive and aloof since he was a little boy. He is inept, constantly ill and crying, and always in need of care and protection. He started reading sacred texts at a very young age. Interesting. When Father is not working long hours, you often see him spending long stretches of time in the backyard, practicing his fencing. You are allowed to watch, but that is it. You are forbidden from touching the sword, let alone actually learning how to fight with it. It is a new day today, and Father has been busy in his study since early morning. Mother took Gloria and Nathan to the shops. Your studies are done for today. The house is empty. You spot Father's sword hanging by the yard door. He must have left it there by accident after a training session. You deliberate at first, then grab the sword with resolve and run outside. At last you have a chance to see it up close. It is a small sword used for dueling, heavy and devoid of any ornamentation. You recall that it was made specifically for him. The weapon is difficult to handle. Its heft makes the palm of your hand shake. As you get used to it, you try your best to imitate Father's feints. Your technique leaves much to be desired, but at least it's something. You imagine yourself fighting for the family's honor as the thin blade slices through the air. But you swing too far back. The blade nicks your shoulder and cuts through your shirt, staining the fabric crimson. The sword falls to the ground with a dull clang. You try to apply pressure to the wound to make it stop bleeding, but all you do is make the blood flow faster. Now look what you've done. You're gonna get in such trouble. Thrennody, what are you doing here? The familiar voice hurts you more than the cut of the sword. Father walks up to you briskly. His rugged arms rip off a length of cloth and bandage your shoulder. He squats by your side and pulls you into an awkward embrace. My son, why did you have to take the sword? You know you're not supposed to hold it. This is no toy. It is a weapon that can take lives. Okay. Maybe don't just leave it where your 5-year-old kid can grab it and go cut himself with it. That's all I have to say, Mr. Robert Brante. I know how you feel. I used to yearn for my father's dueling sword back when I was a lad. One day you might have a chance to earn the right to carry a weapon, but first you must have patience and study and become a noble. When that day comes, I will be proud to teach you myself. You rarely spend time with Father without someone else around. There is paternal love in his voice, so much that even the cut on your shoulder barely hurts now. You would be glad to be convinced by what he says. But how can you forget your dream? How can you abandon it just to earn Father's approval? Is it right for him to ask so much of you? No, it isn't. You know what? We are straight on this path of rebellion. We are gonna just stick to it. Father's inquisitive look presses you for an answer. It takes you a long time to muster enough courage to speak. You beg him to teach you how to fight, at least the very basics. It will certainly come in handy in your future. It will be your first step towards becoming a nobleman. Now it takes Father a long time to respond. He is about to speak, and you expect a refusal, but he says nothing. He draws a sharp breath again, but remains quiet. Then, finally, he offers you the sword. That's right. But remember this, Thrennody, you are not a warrior, not yet. You will study this like you study your lessons. Fair enough. He teaches you the first lesson right away. You learn to dodge attacks. There are several times when the tip of the blade cuts the air dangerously close to your nose. It is scary and difficult, but you manage it. From that day forth, Father teaches you the foundations of sword fighting in great secret. Ooh, holy crap, our willpower went down by a ton. Sorry, I just noticed that. You use your passion for tree climbing to explain the cuts you received during training. Soon you learn how to hold your own in a duel, but will you ever need this art in real life? Yeah. Determination is high again. So when do we get more willpower? How do we get more willpower? I don't know how that happens. Oh well, we'll just continue on. Event has happened. We trained with Father. You dare to study fencing, even though you have no right to it by birth. That's right. You toy soldiers. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally back home after a long trip. Thrennody, today is your special day, the day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. That's right, Stefan, you shut up. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anazot. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what we're doing. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there is a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He is about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. Oh dear. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against Father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Thrennody? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? Okay. Well, I mean, let's just stick with the truth, because that is a thing that we definitely did do. We shoved a kid to the ground because we wanted some toys. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to these words, no matter how sad they may make him. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough, he got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses back in your bed with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a little box on your bed with the tin soldiers of the Holy Orders inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. We're gonna lead a rebellion. I can feel it in my gut. 6 years old. We're almost finished with the childhood phase. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden. And now a dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with Father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny sing-song voice. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anazot. He is the head of our family, my father. Oh dear, Grandpa's coming to visit. Dear Grandfather Gregor Brante returned to the family home. Alright, I don't feel like this is a good thing. The intrusion. Ever since the news of Grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then, one day, your grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stefan, Gloria, you, and Nathan, the entire Brante family, stands on the porch in front of the house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. Man, a dick right out of the gate, jeez. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wench cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I have been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, Father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stefan with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at Grandfather and Father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. Jesus, dude is an asshole. The house is examined, room after room. Everything Grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in Mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? Tin soldiers in your younger son's room? He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather seizes the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. Oh, no, I don't think so. You run to the fire and take the box out. The wood is hot to the touch and the edges are burnt. The pain comes slowly. Horrible burns on your hands appear a few moments later. Mother gasps loudly. Oh, look, the bottom of the page is burned. That's such a cool little touch. I love that. Then, suddenly, a heavy blow strikes you on the back, as predicted. You turn around to see Grandfather towering over you, his walking stick in hand. You stare back at him defiantly. How dare you defy me, whelp? You are nobody. Furious, Grandfather wrenches the toy box out of your hands and leaves the room. Father follows him immediately, yet he sneaks in a hidden smile for you before he is gone. Didn't he like us less before? Did that go up? Relations +1? Oh. Man, we are like just nailing our determination. Master of the house. Soon Grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stefan goes with him. From that day on, Father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Archnean Empire. You often distract yourself from their instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. With Stefan now at the boarding school, Grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the Empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask Mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. Why? Each time Grandfather returns, you give the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating Grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes Father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits a man of the nobility. Ugh. Some days Grandfather stays home, and on those days you try your best to stay out of his sight. But there is no way you can avoid family breakfast. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She has been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table, where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it is high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Uh-oh. Sir Brante, please let them live free of the lot for a while longer. They are but... Shut your mouth. Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It's time you considered a real marriage, Robert, one to a woman of proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheek. Father does not look away from his plate, his hands clenched into fists. Baroness El Lodar is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support and a husband. You can keep your low-born Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. Oh, this guy. I will not do that, Father. I am the head of this family, and the family's standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of beautiful Amalia Elborn for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stefan. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She is coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Jeez. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin and throws it onto his plate and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then Father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to Mother in private. Oh, geez, don't give in to your tyrant, Father. Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the blanket and adjusts a crease on the woolen blanket. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease, sorry. He distanced himself from you after Stefan's departure, so you are not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There is a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma L. Lodar, will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She has been crying, and for a long time it hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets, your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears to be wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress, looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. I'm gonna fuck up this dinner. You hear the sound of wheels and hooves against the cobbles in the yard, then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet and still, fearing Grandfather's observant eye. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful dark-haired woman in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady L. Lodar and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you, Robert's sons, Thrennody and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's his eldest Stefan who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eterna with the other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Grandfather eyes you with a probing look. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here next to your mother, your father's rightful wife? No. Oh, that's too bad. Alright. Too bad our willpower is so low. Alright, let's just walk away. You know what? We'll just give them a big middle finger and we'll just walk away. You turn your back on the Baroness and walk to Mother. You walk upstairs to her room, hand in hand. Behind your backs, stunned silence reigns in the antechamber. Soon the two of you are alone. A burden falls from Mother's shoulders. She embraces you. Together, you wait until dinner ends and the Baroness leaves. You didn't betray me. If only you could feel how grateful I am right now. Oh. Dad's mad, but you know what? You brought this on yourself. You ought to be ashamed. The morning after, Father leaves for Eterna with Grandfather to visit Stefan. He returns from the capital in a quiet rage. Uh-oh. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently, Grandfather has already poisoned Stefan's mind against him, and he greeted Father with cold hostility. The name of Baroness L. Lodar is never mentioned in the house again. See? This is what happens. You should have seen this coming. Mother loves us. Yeah, Grandfather hates us again. That's totally fine. Ooh, reputation's down for our house, though. Oh, our perception went up. Man, we just, had all kinds of stuff happen. Almost out of childhood. The kaleidoscope. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stefan had been the one to stay home instead of you. You never expected to hear these words from your father, of all people. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now she seems preoccupied with the strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way Grandfather treats you, you ask? Gloria just shrugs. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way. That's it. She shows you the strange tube she has been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Yeah, I want to see. Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eye sees a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horsemen, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive, and calm and peaceful, just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth like Mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow you see Gloria's green eyes, gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned and time slips away unchecked, but you are still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it no matter how hard you try. No matter how you try. You are caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart or ask Gloria how it works, or just keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? But you still have a lesson to do today. Thank goodness we can't take it apart. That would be terrible. We can't return to our studies. Well, we'll just keep looking through it. Not like we have much option there, but... You continue peering into the ever-changing patterns the kaleidoscope offers you. They become truly interesting when you point it at the shining pillar gleaming in the sky. In your mind's eye, one battle follows another, filling your ears with clanging steel and the neighing of horses. You are leading the Imperial Army now. Everybody is so proud of you. Grandfather says you are better than Stefan. And Father's stern voice cuts your daydream short. You lost all track of time. It is evening now. Oh, good, we got a bunch of willpower back. Good, we're gonna need that. How did you get your hands on this toy, Thrennody? Why aren't you studying? Give it to me. You will have double the lessons tomorrow. Oh, I hope Gloria gets it back. I'm worried. Sweet temptation. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. He has become something you are used to, something nagging yet not unordinary, like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. The tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable it almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You are walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up on your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Thrennody. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Don't even get candy! Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the highborn treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stefan used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible, and now you have the perfect opportunity to try it. You try a candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet. You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes a fruit and brings it to her mouth, carefully, like a rare treasure. There is a thumping on the stairs, footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she is frozen in place with the bowl in her hands. Gloria! Come on! The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. You squalid, ungrateful, low-born child! How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. Actually, Gregor, I'm gonna need to interrupt you there for a second, because the fact that he married her and took in her daughter, despite you being the gigantic asshole that you are, says he's got a pretty shiny spine. I'm just gonna forget what happened with the Baroness for a moment. I mean, he really wanted to see his older son, and you were kind of blackmailing him, so I'll let that go, but Just think about that. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you are hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, but then he sees you huddling behind the armchair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Brante. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. Gloria, I'm not letting you take the blame for this. You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then, Milksop? Did you try the sugar too, or were you trying to stop this piece of filth like she says? Oh. I don't know that I'm ready to mock him. But I don't worry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna let Gloria take the fall for this by herself. But I don't know that I'm ready to mock him. We are only 7. That seemed like a bad idea. Let's just tell the truth. I'm also thinking, and I'm trying to think about this a little bit more strategically now. I'm thinking that mocking him might take more willpower than telling the truth, and I kind of don't want to waste all the willpower that I just got. So let's just tell the truth. You stand up and tell the truth, even though it takes you an effort to do it. You actually ate a candied fruit, but Gloria only touched it. You hope this will help your sister avoid punishment. You are quickly proven wrong. Grandfather's face is red with rage. He strikes you both with his walking stick, blow for blow. He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, and then he leaves you where you are. Soon enough, Mother comes in to find the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises, yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts on the lot and how important it is to follow them. So every time we defy him, or not defy him exactly, oh yeah, defy him or do something honorable, he actually likes us better. That's interesting. Then you stand before Father and Grandfather and swear never to take things that do not belong to you again. Oh, our perception went up. And yeah, see, I bet you anything, if we had mocked him, it would have gone minus 10 willpower. And I kind of want to keep a little bit. I mean, we're already at minus 5. I know we've got hard decisions coming up. Ah, the sacrament. Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. No playing today. You and Thrennody are big boys now. It's time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot. I don't either, Nathan. This sucks. Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a low-born lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of Anazote, slowly and solemnly. One more turn and you see the colossal white building marked by 2 massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into 2 halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in dried brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. This is just bullshit. Father and Grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the low-born estate shall suffer in the house of the faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and the other... I'm starting to get fatigued from reading, I think. Where you and other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest dressed in black with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words from his lot. From this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. I don't wanna. Thrennody, why do they want to whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below, so sharp your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down, and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? Hell no. Yeah, fuck that. The priest readies the lash, but before he can strike, you raise your head and stand up. There are cries of indignation among the churchgoers. The whip cracks. It strikes you on the right shoulder, but you keep your head up. It strikes again, this time on your left shoulder, but you remain standing. No one intervenes. Even the priest is confused by this turn of events. He grits his teeth as he orders you to depart. You are to remain humble and obedient from this day forth, for you now belong to the common estate. You walk away from the altar, swaying. You see things with surprising clarity now. You can barely feel the pain, even as blood runs down your back. A timid hand touches yours. It is Nathan, his tearful face a mixture of confusion and awe. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you are outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate. Grandfather is the last to leave his church. His face is covered in red, angry blotches. There is a quiet fury in his voice as he says something to Father, who remains quiet and miserable as you walk to the carriage. You defied a powerful will that day. There is fear inside of you. You fear that this will might one day destroy you. Ah, but we got willpower. Look at that, +5. We're ready for action. We received the commoner's lot. Yes, we did. I wonder if I should have caught the lash. But I don't know, I feel this was pretty defiant. I feel good about that. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness, when Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it is beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you miss the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. All right, let's do a recap, and then I'm going to call it because I don't think I can read out loud anymore today. All right, important life events that happened to us. All right, look at that. This is just a recap of all the things that happened. I think we know all of this. Personal qualities that you have accumulated. They will convert into adult qualities. All right, determination. Damn, we are badass there. We're curious. Willpower. Oh, I thought we were at +5. Oh, well. Oh, we were at -5 before, and then we got +5, so we're at 0 now. Okay. We're still untouched by death, which is good. All right. So I'm going to hit continue just to get this started, but I think I'm going to end it for now. We're at adolescence. I hope that this was entertaining. If you would like me to go through more chapters, I would love to do so. I'll play this myself regardless of whether or not I record it, but if this is something you guys are interested in getting fatigued myself. If this is something you guys are interested in me playing more of for the channel, I would be happy to do that. Also, let me know what you think. I play visual novels here and there and choose your own adventures here and there, so I don't have too much to compare this to, but I really like it. I like the whole aesthetic of it, and the writing is nice. So anyway, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll catch you again later.